So I wanted to see the URA Mountains here, and that's right there is behind that tree. If you can see those antennas, that is Caraway Mountain. But this is the URA Mountain chain, and man, this is such a pretty place right here on this little knoll. I don't know who owns this property, but I would love to have it. Well, hello everyone, it's Stoney, and I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Just out here on a Sunday ride, enjoying this 76 degrees this morning, and that's crazy. We kind of went from winter time, jumped right into spring with hardly any transition, you know, where it would be in the 60s. I know the past few days it's been in the 80s, which hey, you know what they say, if you don't like North Carolina weather, just wait around, because it'll surely change. And it's supposed to get cold next week. They're talking for one night in the 30s and telling everybody to bring their plants in. I'm headed out to Missouri and Arkansas in the morning, and we got rain coming in this evening. And so yeah, the weather's getting ready to change again. Something I wanted to mention though is I watched a video a couple days ago by Sam Smith, and I don't know if you guys know Sam. If you don't, I'll put a link to his channel where you can go check him out. Sam's been a motovlogger for a long time. I got to ride with Sam one time, I think only one time. There used to be a little motovlogger meetup that some guys organized, and there was about a dozen or 2 dozen of us that used to get together and ride some, and that kind of went by the wayside. I'm not sure why, but it was fun. I think I went a couple times, but that's where I got to meet Sam. You know, I started watching his vlogs a few years ago, man, quite a few years ago, and he's a very down-to-earth guy. He's a little bit older than me, and I like his vlogs. Very easygoing, laid back. He's got a Yamaha V-Star. He also has a Riker, which is a Can-Am that he rides some, and he's down in he's in Smyrna, Georgia, a suburb of Atlanta. But anyway, a little info there about Sam. But he had a very nice video about, you know, when you get older, you start losing friends. And I got to tell you that for some reason his video came about right when I was thinking about this. I've lost a few friends here in the past, actually since the first of the year. Some friends I went to high school with, and some friends I went to college with. It just seems like there's been a rash of deaths of people right around my age. I'm 66 years old. I'll be 67 in October. And it seems like, you know, once you turn 60 years old, and the people that friends you grew up with, friends that you went to school with, went to college with, or whatever, that's all about that same age. I mean, you know, it's some of us, as you get older, you may get sick, you may get cancer, or you may get some kind of disease, or, you know, we're not going to be on the planet forever. So, you know, things, as you get older and you age, you're more susceptible to not being here anymore. So, and that's life. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, we don't know when we're going to kick the bucket, but I think it's something that as you get older, I mean, it's something I think about from time to time. I wonder how many years do I have left. I have no idea. The man upstairs knows. It's not something that I dwell on, but from time to time, especially when you lose, when you lose someone that you've known, maybe since childhood or since your college years, or it's it just brings back a flood of memories. I lost a really dear friend I went to college with, and some of the best times I had in my life was when I was in college, and we were about the same age, had a lot of classes together, and we just really got along real well. And I found out, I didn't even know he'd passed away until he'd been gone a month, and I found out he'd passed away. And I wish I'd have known. I don't want to say we'd lost touch. We just hadn't talked in a while. We used to call each other, and I don't know. People get busy, life gets in the way. If you don't see someone every day, it's kind of hard to keep in touch with people. And I'm the world's worst. I'm a horrible friend. I will tell you, and I'll admit this. You don't want me. If you want me as a friend, I'm not a good friend. And anybody, my friends, the few friends I have who know me know that I'm not a good friend, and I wonder why they're my friend, if that makes sense. But I'm not. I never reach out to anybody. But when I do hear from them, I'm happy to hear from them. I'm just so happy. I don't know. I'm a very busy person, and that really shouldn't be an excuse not to keep up with your friends. But I think everybody's busy. Don't you guys think so? I mean, if you've got a job and you're working, I mean, a couple of my buddies, have retired, and they seem to be as busy now as they've ever been. Less time. But my job just takes up so much of my time, and in my free time, I'm doing stuff with the family. So anyway, I'm not griping. I've got a good life. I'm happy where I am in life. The good Lord's been good to me, and the friends that I do have know that I'll do anything for them, and I truly love them. And I think that most of the people who watch my channel, if not all, I think all of us are about the same age. Nobody young's going to watch my stuff. I got nothing in common with somebody 30 or 40 or probably even 50 years old. And that's okay. Our friends tend to be our age. With one exception, Patrick Orvis, my dear friend Patrick. He came to town about 3 weeks ago, and he rode on his motorcycle. He rode down to North Carolina, and I knew he called me, said he was coming, and we went to dinner together. I wanted to meet up with him and ride back. He was staying in Greensboro for the night, and I wanted to ride back with him down here, but I was just so busy at work I couldn't get away. But man, it was really nice seeing him. I mean, he's such a good kid, and I don't even know if he's 30. I don't know how old Patrick is, but he's wise beyond his years. I mean, and I think that's why I like him so much. Is he's got a great head on his shoulders. He believes in family. He believes in working. He believes in doing the right thing, like most of us do, and that's refreshing to see from someone. Someone as young as him. Now, I'm not knocking young people at all. I'm not, but he is an exception to the general rule, in my useless opinion. So I could beat this car, but I'm not going to do that. I will wait. And this is Highway 49. So John, I did cross 49. a bunch of ADV bikes. Now that is something you rarely see around here. I never see other ADV bikes. There's a guy who lives down the road from me that has a Pan America, orange and white one, and he zips by the road where I live. If I'm out walking, I can't see him from where I live, you know, where my house is, but if I'm out walking, I see him go by usually on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning when my wife and I are walking. Anyway, this is going way too long. Listen, I really appreciate you guys watching. You know, what are you guys that are older? I mean, I'm glad I'm as old as I am. Do I wish I were younger? I don't know. You know, sometimes it's like, boy, it'd be nice to be in my 20s again. But you know what they say, if you knew what you knew now when you were younger, you know, maybe you wouldn't make silly mistakes. But then again, I think that the mistakes you make in life, in most cases, I think they make you a better person. Anyway, that's my thoughts. You guys let me know what you think. If you want to leave some comments, you know, how do you cope with getting older? And it's not a horrible thing getting older. I mean, you know, if you're getting older, that means you've lived a long life, and that's not a bad thing. But what do you guys think about that? How do you cope with that? You know, I mean, I know, you know, Sam was talking about he had lost a couple friends. I didn't get to the gist of his video, but then what brought this on is, you know, he was telling me, oh, not telling me, well, he actually was, and through his video, he was telling his viewers that, you know, basically what I'm saying, when you get older, you got to expect to lose friends and family members, and you know, you can't dwell on it or let it get to you. I will think about it, and it bothers me a little bit, and I'm thinking, well, you know, that's life. That's the way life's supposed to be. Anyway, listen, thank you guys for listening to my rambling. I'm going to enjoy my ride. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment. I sincerely appreciate it. Y'all take care. This is Stoney, and we will talk to you later.